Hey everybody, Coach JBK here with you for this avacyn Restored 8.4 event. Kind of getting into this draft a little bit late, getting situated. This draft is in association with the MTGO channel, and we've got some really good picks. We've got a Bone Splinter, Blood Artist, some other stuff. I think I want to just try to run blue though, so I'm going to grab the Into the Void and tempo a little bit. Some really good green in here. There is some blue, but the tracker, I want the tracker more than Angel or the other green. This green's going to get snapped up though, so we're going to be competing, but this card's just too strong not to take. What have we? Well, not a lot for what we're looking at drafting. Of course, with the green, we could soul bond and end up with this Lumberknot. I don't know, black. I don't really want the Mystic or the Prison. I think I'm just going to take this Butcher Ghoul. Alright, here, again, some good green. Triumph, a Swine, and a Sage, but I think the Sage is where we want to be. Maybe the Swine? Yeah, I think the Sage is just too strong. Okay, and we get a Swine follow-up, which is great, so go ahead and just grab that. Okay, here, could have a Mentor, an Alchemist, or a big, humongous dude. I do like the Mentor, and the Alchemist is fine. We're still trying to run blue, so either of those guys is fine, but I think I like just having the big guy to fight with in the back end. Okay, here we have an Apprentice. We have another Taskmaster going around. Somebody's got Seclusion. It's going to be tough to deal with. Yeah, don't have any Soul Bond, so the Lumberknot's not really the way we want to go. Taskmaster's probably better than the Apprentice. I'm just going to grab this Taskmaster just to see. We can deal with not having an Apprentice. Alright, here we have this card. I hate opening this. It's just too expensive. Really, if we'd have taken the Mentor, maybe the Dreadwaters. But I think we're just going to roll with the Bracers here. We know we're going green X. We just don't know what yet. And we're going to lose a lot of that green in the second round, so I think we've got a pretty good situation here initially. But we'll figure it out. If I hadn't said so before, this is an 8-4 draft. So we need to make it to the final round if we can. Alright, so we've got a Necrobite, we've got a Geist Snatch, which is fine, and an Escort. I'm just going to take the black trick here in case I do end up being in black. To run the Taskmaster, I really have to have cards suited for that. And I don't really think I do, so not yet anyway. Well, there's one. So white looks somewhat open. We'll be taking the Executioner here. Sorry, just reading the text there from work. So let's see what we got. Got a little bit of game. This guy, he makes me want to play black, but I don't want to end up sacking our good green. Those two really don't work that well together. Let's see. We have a Lumberknot, but we're not soul bonding. We have a sideboard. I think we're just going to take the sideboard. Natural end. In case we run into somebody with a homicidal seclusion. Which can happen. Alright, so we got another. These Lumberknots are just being forced through. I'm going to just take this big body. In case we do end up being blue. I hate to draft this first pick and then have the blue be cut. We really didn't see much good blue at all. Alright. Can try to stay away from running 3 colors, but sometimes it's tough. Driver is a really good second to last pick, especially with these decent low drops we've got. Make people not want to kill our driver, that's for sure. So maybe green-black is what we end up with. I mean, I'd love to splash for Into the Void. We don't have many doubles. Let's see what we're looking at here. Got us planes. Okay, and now this massive out-of-color card drops. Well, what do we do here? Do we rearrange? If we stuck with what we have, we could grab a Peddler, a Vanguard. I don't really think our black is necessarily strong enough. Tough decision. We don't want to pass that, but yet I don't really think it works with what we're doing. Vanguard is good. Gisela's just trouble. Can always fight her out with the Death Touch, and I do like that combo a lot. The blue is fine, but I think we just need to stick with what we've got as hard as it is. Okay, here we've got a Fettergeist. We have Geist Trappers. This card, pretty good. We wanted to roll with blue, but I think we're just going to go with the Geist Trappers here. Get a big body. Got a double blue, nice card there. Got a black, willing to sack out card here. Let's see here. Looking less likely that we're going to run blue. So let's hide this out and look at our cost here. Running kind of late. I'm going to take the wolf as a result of that. Okay, here a lot of decent green, actually. There's a Gloom Widow, there's an Abundant Growth, a Joint Assault, maybe one of these loops. We'll take the Gloom Widow here. Still looking maybe to splash this. Maybe you disagree with me on the Gisela pick. Going to take this big late body. Butcher Ghoul's not bad, but these two cards together are especially good, so we'll just see. Probably not going to table that, but we'll evaluate it. Tracker plus Ghoul is good. Tracker plus Executioner is excellent. Let's see if we can keep our tracker online here. Another 2-drop is fine. If we end up with a way to splash, we'll splash it. This deck's not looking incredibly good. It's kind of luck of the draw there, but I am glad we ended up with some decent black. Looking for removal in our black, though. Definitely. And of course, Gisela, she sells for a ticket, but I would rather win the draft than have a ticket. Okay, let's see. Well, we have a green trick. We have a big green body. We have another sideboard card. We got some blue and white. But we'll just take that here. Definitely jumping all over the Eaten by Spiders as we're pretty weak to flyers at this point. Need a couple of Bone Splinters, maybe a Deathwind or something like that. Have not seen the black removal come through. That means our black player, whoever it is, that got the first Blood Artist and the first Taskmaster is looking pretty good. Let's see. Windcrafter's the best card, without question, but we'll just grab this big body in the back, something to fight off of. Okay, our Lunar Mystic comes back around. I don't really see us using any of these cards. We'll just cut this. In case someone has a lot of instants or sorceries they want to use. I have not really been able to get that card rolling, but the Mystic, that is. So the Sage is our X factor here. If we can get him out, we can cast some of this bigger stuff. Let's see what happens from there. Even though green was cut, we ended up with some decent green, some decent power on the ground, and so we're doing all right. Get a bunch of text. All right, so we'll grab the abundant growth here, and a ghost form is fine. We're not hurting for creatures, I don't feel like. Lair Delve, I don't know if this is a Lair Delve type deck or not. We do have some things that are not creatures or lands, but no real big miracles we're going to hurt for, so maybe Lair Delve is okay. Kind of a poor man's divination. Alright, so let's see what we've got. We have a big dude who's basically just ends up being unblockable. We have some nice, well, decent removal. We've got a flyer. Just taking the Force Mage here, though. Too many applications for that. Right, this card is pretty tough to deal with, but in color, we're definitely taking the Deathwind. That means we're getting rid of the Lair Delve. Alright, do we want another Peddler? I think so. We do have another Use Spirit here. But the Peddler is the way we want to go. Shores up our early spots, kind of allows us to get to our late game, see what we can do with that. Alright, here, this is kind of a late Seraph. White is going to be tough to deal with. I think could go with the Grave Exchange or Geist. Or Pathbreaker Worm, and I kind of like the synergy with the Pathbreaker Worm with these big guys in the back here. So, Stern Mentor. There's two of them running around. It kind of gives me the willies. We don't need another Renegade Demon. I don't think we're going to play this Connoisseur either. We have 19 creatures. We're just going to hate out this Mentor this time. Alright, here we've got another Abundant Growth, which is cool. We have a Force Claw, which is also cool. Our back end is looking real big. We have an Appetite for Brains kind of removal. So really it's between the Abundant Growth and another Force Claw. And I think we're just going to take this Abundant Growth here. Okay, we'll grab another Taskmaster. Probably siding those. Maybe. Don't want to end up sacking out all our dudes. Don't have any Bone Splinters to get rid of them if he gets defanged. Or worse. So we splashing into the void? Possibly. Some really good stuff to fight with here. Okay. The repository coming around, another Glummerdot. Some decent stuff here. We're just going to go with another natural end in case we end up facing a lot of enchantments or something. And or artifacts. So right now we have to cut 4 cards. We have 20 creatures, which is way too many. Probably going to be these two guys in the middle. Though they do fight off each other well with the tracker here. Now here are the Slaver Wheels, which is pretty doggone good. I think that's considerably better than both of these other cards. So I think we're just going to hide out these two. The fight with the Slaver is incredible, so we'll be using that. Looking to cut 3 cards. Do we cut into the void and just chill? maybe. Let's see what we've got here. Let's take this big dude. It would be nice to streamline and not have to worry about the mana for this, but it's so strong. I could see cutting the bracers. Could see also cutting this creeper. I think we're okay with 2 drops at that point right there. Cut 2 more cards. Definitely want to have this back end rolling, so 2 more. The Taskmaster, what do we have that we can sack out that matters? Really just the Executioner. So we can sack out the Driver. I really want to run this card just because I picked it first. Maybe it's not smart. Maybe we've got enough going on. I do see us being able to splash it though with the abundant growth, so maybe not. Main board and eaten by spiders is kind of not what we want to do either. Okay, let's see. We got a blue to death. That works well with the Taskmaster, but let's see. We also get this Haunted Guardian. That's okay. We'll grab that just in case we start getting run over. Okay, more little dudes coming in constantly. So we've passed on like 4 alchemists. We'll take 1 here. He does fight out pretty well, but so black-green with a splash of blue, cutting maybe a couple of these Taskmasters. I don't know. We'll see. I hate to cut the card, but it's limited in its effectiveness, and you can't fight off of it because you got to sack your dude soon anyway. So, all right, let's see here what we choose to do. Well, I'm gonna roll with both of these. Tracker, the wolf, double peddler's good. Gloom Widow, Sage, the Mage, the Swine, the Trappers, Algeist, and this late game stuff. We run the Butcher Ghoul. We will run our Driver, Executioner, the Slaver, and the Deathwind. We're going to splash the Void. We've got 16 creatures as it is. It's late, so let's see what we can do to kind of help with that. Oh, let's see here. Do we want another 5-drop? No, I don't think so. I typically prefer to have more miracles in there. Maybe a Necrobite. Taskmasters are hard to pass up in there. We're likely to run into flying, but I don't want to have that. Passing that just only makes me want to use this main deck. And I think I'm going to, just because it kills anything flying, and that's going to be our weakness here. I think I don't mind having another 2-drop, and then we'll have a Necrobite just for sake of argument. The bracers are good, so the bracers may be a better pick than the creeper here. I think we're going to go with that. Okay, so we'll just add out our land. We want to definitely have enough for us to make this thing run. I think we're good with this. Okay, so this is the coach for the MTGNoob, and I will check you in round numero 1. Please subscribe if you hadn't already.